Yo, Greg Moore here, AZ Central Sports. We are at Sun Devil Stadium where Arizona State just defeated UTSA in the first game of the season. I'm here with Arizona State insider Jeff Metcalfe. We're going to just do this by the numbers. Jeff, what was the final score?
49-7, a much wider spread than what I predicted. I'll gladly admit that. I thought ASU got off to a great start. They had a scoring low there in the latter part of until the latter part of the second quarter. They got a 14-0 start, then they had this lull. I thought the period at the end of the second quarter and into the third quarter was the critical part of the game.
Absolutely. What ended up happening was Darius Slade ended up with a strip sack, right? Sack, forced fumble, recovered fumble. Arizona State then goes on a 7-play, 64-yard drive that ends in a touchdown. Next drive, Arizona State stops UTSA, 3 and out, ends that drive with a corner blitz from Chase Lucas, gets the ball back, goes on another long drive, scores a touchdown. It was just a great way to end the first half. But let's keep up with the theme of the numbers. Let's talk about total offense. Arizona State versus UTSA total offense.
Yeah, so it ended up 503 to 220, which, you know, we kind of knew. I sort of thought ASU would get into the 400 range, so to get up over 500, good for them on that front, I think. It was pretty well spread out. They rushed for 266 and they passed for 237. Pretty balanced offense.
So Arizona State with a balanced offensive attack, and that all started up front. Also, their defense started up front. So let's use another statistic to illustrate that, rushing yards.
Okay, 2 yards rushing for UTSA. Who saw that coming? Not me. I mean, you know, when you just start with that, they were known for being a very strong defensive team, more so than on offense. But I don't think anyone could have predicted they would hold them to 2 yards rushing. That spoke to what Danny Gonzalez was able to do with his front. And, you know, then the more inexperienced defense behind them really did a nice job as well.
We'll give you one more stat to show just how lopsided this thing was. Let's do sacks.
8-0. 8-0. Manny Wilkins said he can't remember the last time he didn't get sacked.
Yeah, Manny Wilkins is known for taking a lot of shots and often bouncing back. Today he didn't have to bounce back. They kept him clean. Then they got after the two quarterbacks that UTSA ended up playing for 8 sacks. Again, this was just a great game. I'll give you one more thing if you want to think about it, right? We can nitpick the penalties, and that's legit, that's fair. We can talk about some of the stagnation in the offense, that's legit, that's fair. But Michael Sleep Dalton was able to pin UTSA inside the 10, I believe, 3 times. This team looked good in all the phases, but they've got a tough test next week. Let's do a little bit on that, and then we'll go ahead and sign out. So tell me a little bit about what they've got next week.
Well, yeah, before I go into that, though, I wanted to say, what was the first thing that Herm Edwards said after the game? We were sloppy. Not that he got in and got on this I'm going to praise them to death type of thing. He did the exact opposite. I thought that was a very interesting approach to his post-game.
For sure. So Herm Edwards says they've got to get after it for next week, that Michigan State's going to want to run the ball, that they've got to be prepared to be physical. All the players said they've got a good work week ahead of them. But Chase Lucas said that, hey, we want it. Bring it down here, and that's what we're going to be looking forward to and preparing for. So again, Greg Moore here for Jeff Metcalfe, AZ Central Sports. We're at Sun Devil Stadium where Arizona State just won the first game of the Herm Edwards era. Follow us online, follow Jeff, follow me on Twitter, and stay with AZ Central Sports where we'll have all the coverage of everything from this game and going into next week.